do is stabilize for the first like 15-ish minutes so they don't get ran over by this bat. It's a really good bat game, what he's playing into, but it could also be tricky. Once Nouns group up with the pipe, with all this tankiness on their side, their team fight is overwhelming.
Yeah, because their side lanes, once again, just like last game, are considered to be very strong.
Yeah,
right.
No, yeah, I think from Nouns draft, like on paper, lane should be good. Their ability to get into their kind of timings is good. Like, there's not really a vulnerability of this really disappearing. Like if Sankey has a bad lane mid, he hits jungle and he'll still be able to return to the game. And that's where Spirit, like they don't really have tower damage. They like even if they do well, it's not as if they suddenly break open the map themselves. I think both teams after lane will just farm for 20-25 minutes and like whoever takes the better fight. Like if you have the initiation, Doom will win the fight. If you have better initiation on Mars, you'll probably kill 2 and you'll win the fight. So I think this is a very close game on who has the better kind of tactical approach to it. I think both teams are pretty happy with what they have, but efficiency is what's needed in this game.
Well, let's see how efficient the teams can get and if we're going to get a third game to this series. But first, we're heading over to Pyrian, who's standing by with Coach Milan.
Hello, Sheebs. I am indeed here with Milan, coach of Nouns. You must be delighted with Game 1 against the defending champions. Did you think it was going to be a tough series? And if so, how do you think it was going to go?
I mean, we're playing the world champions. It's like a burden and an honor in the same time. I think these games are delightful for us, delightful for everybody. I think that's what we came in here. I think the pressure is on them, not on us. That's why I tell my players, like they're the world champions. We're here to challenge. It's nice to be a challenger and we embrace this role.
Fantastic. So looking at your draft for Game 2, almost identical to Game 1. So you must have been very happy with the draft in Game 1. Are we going to see pretty much the same thing here in Game 2, or you think they're going to come at you with a different approach?
I think they're going to come out swinging for sure. They have adapted a bit, but I think what we are doing is similar. Like they did the Tinker, so we did something similar as well. Like this is what we prepared. And Dota is a game of a million little things, so you can never say for sure what's going to happen. Our aim is to play the best we can. Like the result is just going to be there anyway. It's going to be over soon, so that's it.
Fair enough. Now, what percentage of this draft is down to the coach? What percentage is down to the team? What percentage would you give yourself? 80% me or 20% coach?
I think biggest is on our captain Tal, the Fly. I think he's the main leader. Like my job as a coach, as I see it, I think it's enabling him, giving him the strongest voice, and everybody else kind of goes through him. Like everybody gives the idea, and two of us kind of render them down, or what's the word? I don't know. We just like try to take the best out of everybody. That's the whole point of coaching, making everybody comfortable being their best.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Milan. We look forward to seeing Game 2. Now over to our casters, OD and Fogged. Chat.
Thank you very much, Ted. Yes, time to get into the action here. Game 2 between Nouns and Team Spirit. Cool. And yeah, well, discussion of the draft there and talking about the draft, a lot of similarities.
Sure.
Coming out in particular, of course, from Nouns side of things, with just one change-up. Similarities as well from Spirit, but a bit of a change-up in some of these positions from their side.
Yeah, I mean, pretty big adaptation overall, right? It's a very different draft that they've gone for this time, and this time maybe Laurel can put the bullying on a little bit better, because last time it was actually a matchup that was hard for him, and this time they've last picked it for him. Well, last picked in the terms of them swapping it up, and we'll see how much he can do versus this Sankin, because it's a hard matchup, and I'm looking forward to see how much tower damage he does, because I have seen these supports going for this facet on the Bat Rider, and they get like no tower damage, but it's a core facet, and I'm curious to see how much he's going to get out of it. I wanted to talk really quick about the interview. I feel like I haven't heard someone say something like that from Milan in a while, like whereas he's saying the pressure's on them. We're the challengers. They're the defenders. That was really cool. That quite a bit.
We'll see if that sort of comfortable state that Nouns in that position should be in is reflected again in this game too. Because yeah, Game 1 they certainly kept their cool and were able to come in with the outplays and take that first game victory of the series. Do you like this as a team? They do come into this game too with something as similar as they have done.
You mean Nouns?
On Nouns, yeah.
It looked good. The heroes are strong. Yeah. The lanes are strong. It just sometimes when you do this, if a team is very good at adapting, it can be a bit of a risk. So you are playing versus Spirit, one of the better teams at adapting, especially in these best of threes as we've seen in time. So yeah, we'll see if that does work. I actually thought that they might switch things up a bit here from Mira. Not to say that he played like bad on the Tinker or anything, but it's a very farm-heavy hero, and I'm a big fan when I watch Mira making like aggressive moves and being able to set up ganks. Tinker is just not really that hero. So it's interesting that they went back to doing it again. But they did, I feel like, make a bigger move in particular of making Laurel be a 100% playmaker, because he was a playmaker on the Invoker, but the itemization on these Invokers nowadays, it's a scaling kind of right-clicking kind of guy. So
Yeah.
I think he's transitioned to be literally, I'm going to be like an initiating driving force from the mid lane, which we lacked in the last game.
They really did, right? Because their way of starting fights last game was, here's Collapse, let's hope you go on him, and then we'll take the fight.
Exactly.
No sort of direct way to have a hero that was going to charge in and start things off first, apart from a Poshka on his back because of the slow timing on the blink, because of his itemization. It just got to a point where he was not able to blink in lasso and survive.
No, pretty much never. So,
But as you say, as a mid-bat rider, you've definitely got to expect that Lar's going to hit those timings where he can make a lot of action happen and make sure that this game doesn't end up playing out as easily as the game one did for Yuma on his Luna, right? He had a great time on the Luna, and it really did get to the point in the fights where there was just no way they could get on top of him and stop Yuma from dishing out the damage.
Hey, these lanes already looking very good from Spirit. I mean, they set this up in particular. That's why they did this little bit of a switch up and put this bat mid, because of how good a game it was. All three are farming beautifully, and Yuma is eating a bit of pressure up here. I mean, these lasers, the constant damage and the spam, the collapse has, because I believe he got the OP creep, got that mana burn. So they have infinite mana up here to be able to pressure. So yeah, these lanes are looking pretty phenomenal, and didn't get to point this out from earlier, but thank you for this little off-screen cam. They did make sure that when we were having the interview, they did block these camps. So they were already making sure that they can limit some of this recovery outlet that comes from down. So yeah, really strong lanes, and to prevent recovery, pretty good strategy.
And you imagine with Collapse on the Doom this game, his itemization, it's going to have the pipe coming out earlier than it did last game on his Kunkka?
Yeah.
Or do you think, are there still other options? Like, do you want to see him get that pipe first?
I mean, the thing is, he's a Doom, so he can switch it up, right? He can go the Midas, like they're saying on the panel, then he can sell it, buy a Blink, get a kill, sell it again, buy Midas, then switch to Pipe, depending on the situation. So we're going to see Pipe 100% sure. I'm just unsure at which phase of when he sells these items and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it looks really strong from Spirit, and definitely have a bit of a worry from Nouns, even though it's a very strong draft, and it looked excellent in the last game. This Bat Rider is a nuisance, especially from the core roar with the BKB.
Yeah, I mean,
you can just run through their heroes.
His first 5 minutes, you're seeing it on all three lanes. Team Spirit getting these early victories. And if you see it pushing there on the gold, nearly up to 2K. I mean, it's sitting around 2K gold lead 5 minutes in.
Copies jungling.
No kills to be had, but just straight up from the way that the lanes are playing out. And Spirit getting very aggressive up on the top lane.
I mean, this is actually pretty insane how... I mean, we'll see in a second. Mira might actually get caught off here. This TP from Lelis is kind of good. Mira. He's looking pretty dead.
Yeah, they got 4 of them. Copy's going to head over as well.
Give it a copy. Give it a copy. There we go.
There we go. So indeed, he needed that. Was having a tough time in the mid. Does take a lot of resources, but it is enough to at least set them up for first blood for their mid player.
Oh, I was about to say, like before this go, of course, this lane combo with the Harpy, or sorry, the Mana Aura with Tinker. Dude, you're just like, you're harping March. You have infinite healing, and then you have infinite mana to constantly do it. That is actually a pretty absurd kind of combination that comes out just from the two without items. That's pretty cool. Collapse. Won't get that hit in time to stop that Lotus pickup. We'll dish out a decent amount.
Radiant's top tower is under
Mid tower starting to take the stickies. Meanwhile, bottom also Gunner.
He's going to be off the mark with the spear. So if they're able to continue to run him down, some nice jukes from Gunner.
Very nice play.
I don't think Spirit expected that one, Gunner.
Sneaky.
Able to get out for now.
I think he dodged that Dragon Slave as well too, even with that little sidestep. Postco, we'll find him. Got another lift. Watch out for the cliffs and stuff like that.
That's true.
French plays the lift. It might come out onto the cliff.
He's going to try and get him up there, but yeah, can't quite do it. So Gunner's going to be fine. Still, though, getting bullied out of the lane and making sure that this bottom area just continues to be absolute free farm for Radahn on the Carolina.
You got a regen rune on Laurel. They have to actually pop the glyph here immediately so that he doesn't just pretty much take that whole mid tower. But I think this tower is likely to just fall right now.
It's early.
It's dying fast. I mean, he's got 6 stacks. 7 stacks. We're seeing the Wisdom Rune congestion as well. But mid tower's dead at 7 minutes.
Yeah, but Poshka will be dealt with by Gunner, as they do indeed make sure that this Wisdom Rune remains under their control. Noun's able to keep a hold of theirs. But yeah, 7 minutes in, tower going down into the mid. Lal, he's going to be well on the way to hit those timings to be quite the leading force when it comes to making plays up and down the map.
And look at this. He's able to walk in, and he's just going to steal some jungle creeps as well, too. Some recovery that Sanking needs. That's going to get taken away. this could definitely be a game where Laurel pops off. Just have to see if he overextends too far, because can still die if he does, and he is perhaps caught here.
At top lane, they're coming in with the dive on towards Fly. Indeed, over towards the river with the Epi. They're able to get in and take down Lal. Back up top, the dive did succeed. They take down Fly. They're doing what they can in here, finding these kills for Copy. It's getting him up there. He's now level with the the 3 cores on Team Spirit. So after an opening to a game where you're playing this lane against the Bat, 8 minutes in, and you did lose your tower very early on, but Copy's still been able to find a lot.
Yeah, Laurel, I don't think he respected the fact that they had vision up on that high ground. So does get caught off stealing the stacks, and they punish him. That's the one thing you do have to be careful about, Batrider, is just how over-aggressive you can play sometimes, because you want to play extremely aggressive, but it can get punished. We do see there, Copy with the full recovery. Haste now picked up as well. Deny the ward. Nicely done.
Him with the burst strike and the sandstorm, and Poshka getting very low, but we'll be able to crawl out just in time. Anything follows up.
Too scared to pop the haste just in case of anything anyway. Can just get lassoed. And yeah, overall, Yuma's game is much harder though, right? In particular, even though Copy has made this recovery, this is going to be a bit of a longer one coming out from the Luna this time around. Even though, yeah, that tree, the lane just did not go their way versus Doom.
They'll go for an easy setup here. Walks up, gets the lasso onto Fly.
And he'll have him. And can perhaps push the tower here too, if he'd like to. He's actually moving away from it for the moment. Maybe stealing away the bounty rune first, but yeah, can look to push these towers early on with that sticky as well. Besides that mid one.
More smoke to be coming out from Nouns. We're going to have Copy ready to look for continued action as the Sand King wants to make a play with a haste rune. 20 seconds until the epicenter's back up.
Radon kind of read it. He made his way top. He hasn't shown himself up here yet. Now he's shown himself. That they're like, okay. Immediately they were kind of looking left and they're like, oh, he's not there. Okay, let's set up somewhere else. And they'll just decide to farm instead. But this tower will drop. The tower is claimed very early here from the side of Team Spirit.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Much more pressure from Spirit here in this early game as opposed to what they were trying in that first game of the series.
Absolutely, and it is a blink rush from Laurel, of course, on the bat. So he's pretty close to it already, about 400 away. Copy. Power rune to spawn soon. Shield rune. Good one. That will allow Laurel to commit maybe a little bit harder. You know, make those aggressive dive plays that he initially does want to. And Copy, we are seeing he's queuing up the blink. So, wanted to be very active as the Doom.
Collapse is going to throw it down onto Yuma.
Looks okay.
But indeed, alone, that will not be enough damage. So
it's close, actually. Yeah,
he's going to be
fine.
Should be able to take the walk back to base. And yeah, that's Doom down.
Nice try there from Collapse. No distance play. Strength treads, of course. I don't know if he switched it right before the Doom came out or whatnot, but
well, I mean, the timing's there though. You know, Copy also now with the blink. Well, yeah. In fact, if anything, he got it a little bit sooner than Lal. Lal's still about 150 gold away from it. So let's see if they can make the timing happen. If they could group up and go, they've got the 6s on the support, so they do have the backup damage, especially if the snaps in the neighborhood.
And this is huge that he was able to get it. Yeah. Before, I can't believe that. How the lane
those two, the first blood and that move where they get the kill down bottom, it's really allowed Copy to have this timing after a lane matchup that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, absolutely great. And now they have the ways to pierce in to find the Lina and stuff like that. All these squishy backliners with this very early. And they have the kisses. So they have overwhelming damage to be able to kill these heroes early on before like that pipe in particular does come out.
And Radon would be quite the catch.
He kind of looks like he does expect.
They're going to settle for Collapse by the looks of it. They see him head up to the high ground. Copies in with the opening. The kisses come in. Collapse. He's gone. Let's see if they can get out those stolen kisses in return. That will get the job done. Miposhka, big steal and a big kill in return, takes down Copy.
Spirit will take that. I mean, it's a big kill onto him, and they lose Collapse, but Collapse kind of, it looks like he knew that was happening, right? It was a sacrificial lamb for them to be able to get this type of trade kill.
For sure. I mean, we saw, Radon was in the area, but he was being very careful how he headed up into that triangle, allowing Collapse to be the one to go first.
And look at Laurel and Miposhka. They have this ward in the mid lane. Let's see Yuma for a second. It will.
It's a bit too far to get the grab on now. I'm saying that though. If he sticks if he comes back though, Lillis.
They've got him.
Indeed, with the lasso and the follow-up here from Collapse and Miposhka, Yuma doesn't stand a chance.
All they need is there's no real counterplay without without Gunner there in particular, so they can just freely dive up to there. Nice play there from Laurel, and he had the shield rune, so he knows he can be a little bit more aggressive in particular. 3K lead now for Spirit. And Yuma just continues to really struggle.
Dire's middle
And
tower
Radon this time
is under
around,
attack.
not struggling. Top of that net worth, he's going to have this... I mean, he's going to have the Gleipnir pretty early. So can look to get involved. Well, the Luna in particular, I mean, when you're slowed down on Luna, getting involved is pretty much impossible.
It's risky, especially when they're going to have ways to get the jump on you.
Exactly. So yeah, these next few moments definitely feel a bit concerning. Nouns, it's been a quiet... I mean, now, Gunner's 1-0-1, but I feel like I haven't seen him at all yet this game, so...
Do you like this as well? You know, Gunner looking to get that second blink dagger, so having the double blinks on the two, the mid and the off lane.
Feels like a dated concept, but...
Yeah, it's a lot on the initiation, and it's just a lot all in on the team fight and the jump. If you're not able to make plays happen with these two blinks on your mid and your off lane, these two could fall off pretty quickly.
Yeah, this could be a big risk. We'll see if he does commit forward for it. We see that Collapse, he does have his blink, so he's probably going to look for some type of Doom setup play, then sell that blink and buy the Midas right afterwards. See who he looks to go for.
Yeah.
Smoke's going to come out. These two always have kill threat. This is the pairing that Nouns wants to always utilize. The Sand King plus that Snapfire, but they want to find a big target, in particular Radon.
Well, he's going to try and go for this, but in fact, the Rebuke and the Arena's dropped down very quickly from
Stolen.
So if they can set up anything, I mean, at the same time, up top, they get the jump on Radon. So Lena's been dealt with. Collapse continues to try and get the chase on. It's him with the blink, but doesn't want to commit a Doom down onto Gunner.
Copy's here. Quick rotation.
A bit of an awkward move there. Spirit not able to get anything going, and indeed, yeah, top side of the map, Radon was on his own, pushing things out.
And
Copy finds him. The combo there once again.
Lelis, he's making the sneak. They're going to be able to get the double wisdom runes as well. When they were trying to get theirs, well, they're potentially getting theirs stolen. They're able to get 2 out of this. Laurel?
And Lar's still looking for something.
Can't blink.
And to the slight damage.
Could be in
They
trouble.
get the spear set up. Jump forward from Collapse. The copy's already out of there. The Doom has to be dropped down onto Gunner. You guys are going to try for the TP out, but the telekinesis is there to stop his escape. So Gunner will die this time.
Okay.
But getting these kills, up top they kill Radon. Back in that trade there, they're killing off Lal. I don't think Nouns are going to be too unhappy with this.
No, definitely not. Gives time for Yuma to get that catch-up. Even if it's a little slow. They need some type of space for him, so they do get these trade kills. Very nice. And Copy does get a very big rune out of it, too, so he has an amp damage for the next fight. And is about to hit level 12 for level 2 Epicenter, so... We'll always have that kill threat. Might have to see, honestly, an early BKB on Radon. I think it's going to have to just be Gleipnir BKB.
And just what we like to see there. Same to be said at this point of the game. In game 1, really. 50-50.
And there we go. There's that blink gets sold. The Midas gets picked up for Collapse. And yeah, I'm just looking to see. He did have BKB queued, but I'm waiting to see if he does switch maybe for that pipe, etc. It's eventually.
Sure.
Once we see the...
I mean, what would the arguments be for both, when it comes to going for the BKB for yourself as the Doom or the pipe for your team?
It's just greed, right? It's just like... I mean, he can also just... I mean, he has options, whatever. We'll see what he does.
Bottom lane, Nouns.
Middle tower is under attack.
Seeing if they can get some sort of opening on this. Lars watching from the high ground. They get the telekinesis onto Gunner. Spirit, I think they're going to start bailing out this one pretty quickly.
Radon's here.
He is turning up to try and burst through Yuma. He gets the stun in on towards him. Yuma,
big Epi.
With the side, copies him with the jump, the Epi and the burrow strike. They've killed off the three, they've killed off the 4 of them, and now Collapse. He's going to try for the TP out, but the Spirit, it's there for Gunner. As Nouns, they get a team wipe.
Oh my, Copy is playing his heart out. 5-1 and 4. The Sand King comes in at the perfect time. Beautiful.
That's just crazy stuff. It's a good day for Sand King if you're a Nouns fan. Both games, game 1 Gunner, this game 2 Copy after a tough start. I mean, look at this Sand King. 9K net worth. He's making it work. The matchup in mid proven to be completely irrelevant. Sure, it got them the early tower. But having the 3K difference between the mid Sand King and the mid Bat at just, 16 minutes in?
They're so ready for these fights in particular. Like now everybody just collapses in an instant and then boom, you're going to see the immediate epicenter. The overgrowth, again, I mean, Fly keeps getting these onto the crucial heroes as well, and Laurel just waltzes in and dies.
It was such a dangerous part of the map for Spirit to try and pull together a fight.
I mean, it's up to a 4K lead in a matter of seconds, Owen, and now...
This is rough. You see it there on the face of Collapse. They know that this game, it's going to be a tough one to swing back in their favor. They had the early lead, but it's now slipped completely over towards Nouns. They have a 4K advantage.
Look at that swing.
Yeah, absolutely. 50-50 to 80-20, and you feel it with that sort of play, and we saw it on the players' faces.
Copy now at this point has a Bloodstone. This has to be some of the faster timings I think that we've seen.
Crazy.
He's level 13 as well. And he's got another power rune on it. So he's got an arcane rune for a faster sequence of fight in the next one too. Spirit has to be careful, and Spirit maybe need to at least finish one of these BKBs before they force a next engagement, because there's just so much overwhelming magic damage that unless they find copy, I don't know if they can win the fight.
I mean, Nouns are just ready to go. Once again, I mean, top lane, you do not want to show on this wave if you're Spirit.
They have to know where the Sanking is in every single one of these fights. He is the most important. And now at this point, though, Yuma's completely caught up too, so this Luna is also a bit of an issue. And this ward, it has lasted some time, so they've been able to watch this Lina entire time farming. There it is, done already. Impressive stuff. The copy just being unbelievably clutch in this series so far here.
Yeah, and we sort of saw
Are scanning.
an element of what's going to make these fights rather hard for Radan to play as the Lina. Sure, his farm is very good for this stage of the game. You know, he's not falling behind, but
You're versus
this
Mars.
Mars pick, right? The arena comes down. If you're not in, you're not out. You're not able to hit these targets. It becomes very difficult to do your job as the carry Lina. It's not hard for Gunnar to find the chance to really disrupt your play with that arena.
I know mostly I think it's been Tundra that's been playing it in particular, but I thought this hero was definitely going to be back on the rise when it's all ranged carry heroes, right? This is going to be a big thing that they're going to have to address. They're going to have to wards down. They're going to have to put wards down inside the arena to see, but also going to have BKBs to just commit into an arena or
Why
something.
don't you just get your hits through the wall, yeah?
It's going to be interesting. Mira?
Oh, well, a swing and a miss there from Gunnar.
Yep. I think they need at least one of the BKBs to fight. Maybe even the triple. Like, honestly, they might need...
I think, Radan absolutely needs it.
Yeah.
And he knows it. He's not going to want to show up to a fight until it's there.
So they might just look to split the map until they can get that. Because if they can get these BKBs, they can slow the pace of the game down. Their heroes are good versus this big wombo combo. But there's the tree protector as well, too, that comes into play. And I saw Fly last game. I want to say he got some, like, 4 or 5-man overgrowth multiple times last game. So even though they're going to be able, or even though they want to be able to farm BKBs versus all this magic damage, there is, of course, that answer. So
absolutely.
This is going to be very interesting. Copy.
Top lane. Copy. It's going to start things off. They got the stun in return. Radan, he's going to be able to lay down a lot of damage. This time, Copy's going to get dealt with.
They gave him. They kind of gave him some respect for a second too. They're like, wait, does he have backup? Nope. Boom. They blow him up. So Copy.
That's a lovely kill for Radan to find. A lot of gold going his way, taking down that incredibly farmed Sand King.
That'll enable that BKB to come quite a bit sooner. That's a BKB Gunner looking. Honestly, I think everybody should just rejoice in this game because we don't really have that many auras yet.
But
they're gonna come.
Do we have any? What's the mech pipe situation?
Mira's gonna have pipe. I mean, it's gonna take him some time, but he's gonna go for that one.
Okay.
We have a drum, and there's not really many auras right now, but it will come. So, yeah, we can all at least savor in the moment of the lack of auras for the one game for a moment.
Lol.
He's spotted. Gunner is here at the ready.
They've got eyes on him. They've got the invis rune set up, but good. I guess what? He had the sentry down. Must have just caught some vision of him.
Must have known somehow. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean that flame break was on point. Was the sentry still? Yeah, there was because he has the observer in lane, right? So he saw him coming around the other side of the cliff.
I guess he must have.
So he knew that he was coming in that direction. Makes a call to get the flame break down and blink out. So heads up stuff there from Laurel.
Yep. And yeah, they're farming these BKBs. So Laurel is about what 1,000 from his. Radan 200 or so collapse. He can sell and do some type of stuff for his BKB. So they're getting close to those triple BKBs to be able to take that fight. Things are starting to even back out here, at least in terms of that gold.
One thing's for sure, though. We did see an element of it at the end of the last game.
What's that?
Mira's got to be a bit more careful with his warp flares, right?
Yeah, don't break the lassos. Do not break a lasso.
One of those things that happens once in a series doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I can understand what he was going for, though, because like the thing is it applies to root. So he was playing versus like the SK, so he was trying to root perfect timing after it or something, but...
breaking the lasso, you don't want to do that.
No.
You want to let them stay lassoed.
All right, BKB for Gunner, BKB for Radan.
Radan's strong now. He's very strong. Still not quite there for the BKB for Yuma.
Do they have any amp ups for Radon? I'm clicking around. They have a blink on the Rubik. They don't have a solar crest or a drums on the side of Team Spirit to amp the Lina more. While on the side of Nouns, they do now. So they have the drums on Lelis and they have the solar crest. So over on the Luna, we'll have that extra bit of amp.
Okay. What's the big steals you think that Maposhu's looking for? Is it these overgrowths in arenas?
I mean, any of these stuns or any big ulti would be great, but the stuns in particular are also fantastic. Right now, he's got that Burrow Strike stolen, but it's going to be going away. But it's interesting to see the 5 position going for a Blink Dagger on the Rubik this time around. On the last game, he was playing the Bat Rider, and he went for the Solar Crest.
Solar Crest into Blink.
Bit cool to see that, you know, at least he changed things up a little bit, even though he has the mid-Bat who's going for the Blink.
Oh, especially, in a game where he's got, not just
exactly,
the mid-Bat, but also the offlane Doom who went for the Blink first.
Yep.
So, a lot of Blinks.
Yep. Yeah, interesting that they did not build no Solar Crest.
Collapse. They know he's there.
And he's going down.
They're going to find him in the trees, and indeed they're able to take him out. Just a few hundred of gold away he was from his BKB. He's going to be set back a little bit.
If Roche was top, they could have probably turned it into that immediately after that, but it is, of course, down bottom. Yuma showing in the mid lane, has his buddies around him. Laurel has BKB and Radon has BKB, so could see a potential smoke movement coming out from Spirit with these timings. But Nouns claiming a positioning here, getting some good aggressive vision down to potentially see those moves also.
And the Spirit, they're going to want to try and make some play happen here, though, when Collapse is back in. They've got the smoke coming out from Maposhka.
Yeah, it's their triple BKB timing that they've been kind of playing for the last, like, 6 minutes or so, right? So
yeah, the next team fight could be pretty defining for the overall outlook of the game. This could be Spirit's chance to swing back in, take away that lead that Nouns have if they can get the fight going.
Yep.
It's not going to be easy, though. Both teams with the resources and the ultimates ready to pop.
Oh, man. A triple BKB can make things a bit complicated, though. So let's see how if Fly can get a good overgrowth and stuff like that, too, and how much these BKBs are forced and poked and whatnot. So looks like a big clash.
See who shows first.
We'll get to this initiation.
May get jumped underneath the tower. Do Spirit want to try and make this dive play?
Ooh, they saw Collapse. It was a smoke break.
Copy heading over to join the rest of the team. They'll have the full 5-man down here.
Copy's getting close to Lotus. He's going to have that actually pretty much done. It's a very good game for this Lotus Orb versus the Doom and the Lasso, too. He's actually has it coming right now.
Ooh.
So pretty big item timing that Nouns gets, at least for the Sanking on top of everything, too. And Roche?
I mean, now that they moved away from this
just
area,
go for it?
I mean, there's 30 seconds, but they do it very quickly.
They do it fast.
I think, I don't know if Spirit left this because they felt that they couldn't contest this, or if they left this because they didn't think Nouns would try and take it down in this 30 seconds before Roche moves.
I think they expected to be able to get it up top, but yeah, this is a heads-up play from Nouns. It's going down.
For sure. If Spirit felt that this was going to be taken before the 25 minutes, I mean, it's going to be very close. But yeah, they're going to have it.
They got it.
Spirit, they would have wanted to take that fight.
And now Nouns can look to fight themselves pretty much immediately. Gunner off the mark, though, with that arena. So might have to wait a few moments there, but they just get in and get that Aegis.
That's a big timing.
That was nice.
Heads up from Nouns to get in there and realize they had just enough damage to do it before it moved.
Oh, Fly. About to show himself up top, and he's about to get gone on.
And there's no one to save him. So an easy catch for Spirit is presented.
They can look for maybe a bit of tower, but they popped the glyph. That was early. He wasn't even hitting the tower yet.
Got another amplified damage rune here for Copy for that next team fight.
They're looking to set up to go for that fight. How long on that arena? Still 60 seconds, but 20 seconds on the tree.
I mean, with the Aegis, even though the tree's out of the game for 20 seconds, Nouns could still take a fight 4 versus 5.
For it. Ward, it sees.
Spirit, are they ready for this collapse? He's going to jump in first. He's going to put the BKB straight away.
The Lotus instantly gets put on Copy. That BKB was very quick there from Collapse. Spirit probably looking to just reset.
I mean, Yuma's chasing in.
Collapse, they're still thinking.
I mean, Yuma's going straight for it. He's going to get caught with the light strike, but Copy's in for the power strike for the side. They get the spear connection in on towards the Bat Rider. The kiss is coming in. Lao's going to put the BKB.
He's going down.
But Yuma's been able to take him down. They turn towards Mirror in the trees. Nouns get the 2 of them.
Oh, Nouns is just playing. I mean, it's confidence, right? Just the confidence to be able to jump forward there and then get another.
Copy. He's going to find Maposhka off to the side, trying to get the Lotuses. It's a 3rd kill for Nouns.
Spirit second-guessing themselves to go for this initiation, and they hung around too long. Yuma, knowing his strength at the Aegis, just charges in.
And look at this as well. Just the farm that Yuma's managed to acquire. He's at the top. He had a tough start. Fantastic recoveries across the board from Nouns. In a game where it really did start off with Spirit having the perfect lane setup. All 3 lanes, they were looking up for Spirit, but that's a distant memory now.
Absolutely. And Yuma, he's got the steroids, right? He's got these buff ups, which there just really isn't for Radahn at this point. Yes, he's got some extra heals and stuff coming from the Tinker, but this Luna is well and truly enabled.
Check this fight out again. You know, Yuma, knowing, especially with the Aegis in his hands, he can go straight for this. Absolutely trusting in Copy and Gunner to come in with the control. And at this point, Team Spirit, they have to do their best to bail out the fight. But only 2 of them managing to get out alive.
It does feel, I mean, I don't know. It feels very similar where it's like, I love Mira, like I love Tinker, I love Mira, but I'm just not feeling this, you know, he's just this big playmaker usually, and it feels like the game is a little slower because he has to take this back foot of just being this farming Tinker, because that's just what the hero does. So they're just unable to make too many moves on the map, and it's been Nouns now getting away with a lot and getting this Luna at the top with an Aegis. And Laurel is now a support pretty much at this point on the Batrider.
I mean, if you look at the sort of his farm in comparison now to that of Lelis on the Snapfire. You know, Lelis having a great game, and yeah, Lyle falling behind, about to be overtaken by the supports. They're going to get the jump on Collapse. No chance to pop the BKB. Collapse is gone.
Oh, and they're doing it. They've got a big advantage now coming into these next fights.
Lincoln's finished out on Yuma.
Blink on Fly, so he's going to get the overgrowth through the BKBs. This is looking problematic for Spirit.
That crazy stuff from Nouns here today.
Radiant's middle tower
Defying all odds.
Yeah, they had a rough entrance into the road to the International so far. Spirit looking as strong as ever, but today, this series, both games, Nouns, they seem to have Spirit figured out.
Copy in particular, right? We do have to highlight a lot about how much this Sand King was able to do with a bad lane matchup, being able to find the recovery with those 2 kills pretty much to get the blink early and just find these early setups to get to this point. And whoever made the call to go for that Roche, right? This is just heads up stuff across the board here from Nouns today. And we'll give Gunnar the credit from the last game being that nice little sacrifice, of course. At this point now, I mean, Spirit, the thing is, like, Spirit, they stalled for their item timings for the BKBs and stuff, and the fights just, they didn't work at all. So now it's like, okay, we have to look for that next item, which I see Radahn, the Satanic will be there. So the Dispel versus the Tree Overgrowth for him to keep attacking post-BKB if he does get caught, he'll have that. But as you said, Laurel has completely fallen off, and he's not growing at all.
Spirit stepping out at the base.
And now they have a Lincoln's on Yuma. They have, I believe, a secondary Lotus Orb coming out on the Snapfire. So they have overwhelming ways to protect these single target abilities. Doom, the Lasso in particular, very important ones that Spirit needs to do pretty much perfect. It could just get reflected. It could just get blocked. Spirit definitely feeling that pressure.
At the least for them, looks like Nouns aren't going to get another push in under the cover of the Aegis. Just 30 seconds until that expires.
Gotten that nice map control. They actually see bottom as well too. Mira has shown on this ward for a quick second. Are they going to make it in time? Oh yeah, they will.
Copy. He's found him. And even though it may just be a support, but the Tinker out the game, that's a lot of sustain and save that Spirit won't have if Nouns want to go straight away for a push now. As Mira, he's gone for 50 seconds.
They're smoking to maybe try to catch them off guard here, but
this is so risky. But I guess at this point, they've got to take risks on Spirit.
Does feel like it. Can they even blow up a target in time, though? Because these Lotuses, all these protection abilities going to come out, and Gunnar, it will be at the ready, likely to follow. It does feel like a bit of a desperate one, right? That's a super farm Snapfire. 4-0-12. Perfect game so far. And grouped up, they waited for a second, everybody gets together, and there comes the push. What do you do, Spirit?
Radiant are scanning.
Now, what do you buy as Maposhku? 7 up the money, 2k gold. Well, Spirit, they're going to try for a jump, Lyle. He's got the lasso. Have they got the burst to get through? Gunner's going to get
still alive.
Get the BKB off. He's going to live. Turns with the Spirit over towards Radahn. Radahn puts the BKB. Gunner backs off, lays down the arena. Radahn's going to try and chase on forward with the remaining seconds of the BKB, but he can't commit to take the kill. Gunner's going to live. They don't get anybody.
Extra little bit of healing that comes in from this like cookie, I think maybe does the difference to survive for him. As that's a BKB used for Radahn. That's quite a bit expending. They still have Doom, but that was their lasso play to try to catch him off guard. Nouns still has BKB up on Yuma, so they're going to look to play around this Luna. And they have vision over here, so they want to play around this vision that they placed from earlier.
And they can swing around towards the mid. Spirit, they're coming out on the map, but this is so risky. Collapse, he's going to walk straight into them. Has to BKB straight away. Lotus is going to be dropped down on towards Human. They now turn their efforts over towards Copy, trying to burst through the Sand King, but the Doom drop down onto him. Copy will fall. Now down the mid, Human's ready to chase down Radahn, and indeed with Radahn having the BKB on cooldown, he's got very little to protect himself. He's going to get speared out of the side. He's going to offer up down to Lena to take down the Lina. Now they can turn towards Collapse.
Stolen root.
Quick Root's going to be taken off by Yuma with the Manta and try and turn towards Collapse, but Collapse looks like he'll be able to sneak away and survive.
But they got Radahn. They got the target they wanted. His BKB was still cooldown.
He wants to try and go for more. He has the lasso at the ready. Blink's going to be back up in a few seconds. Can they catch anything else here, Spirit? Doesn't look like it. Nouns, they'll split away.
Good disengage there from Nouns. I mean, Radahn, they get the kill onto Copy, but Radahn, Yatoro has to run in, and without that BKB, it's quick, you see. I mean, not that quick that he dies, but quick that they get on top of him.
Yeah,
the Luna just literally runs on top of the Lina.
Yeah, the Satanic was starting to do some work for Radahn in terms of just surviving and fighting back, but a good call from Gunnar to just step in and get that spear out, make sure that little bit of a stun latches and stops it from being able to right-click and survive with the heal from Satanic.
I mean, they threw, like, I think multiple barriers and stuff onto him as well, too, from the Tinker, but yeah, just it wasn't enough, especially because of how much damage Yuma does at this point, because he does have all these buffs. He's solar crested, he's drummed, he's running right in on top of him, so there's not much that Radahn can do to get away without that.
Spirit still struggling to find the sort of fight they need to take away this lead that Nouns are holding on to.
And a decent steal, too. I mean, he stole Overgrowth, but yeah, at this point, there's always going to be these dispels between the Lotuses and the Mantas and stuff. Gunnar, now a full Hex has been picked up. So definitely chances for this Lina, Radahn in particular, to maybe not even get the BKB off, too. See how these next few fight executions do go down. But yeah, Nouns just feel like they have a huge surge of momentum.
And they're just running at them once again. They know how strong they are. Radahn.
Gunnar
sticks around for that last creep at the neutral camp. They get
the lasso.
Hex in the arena, but the BKB's able to come off. Radahn's ready to turn, but he's still got to run. He's taking so much damage even through the BKB. They have managed to kill off Lyle, but they'll lose Gunnar for it. Can they find anything more here now? Copy. Pops the Lotus. Collapse has to put the BKB. The right click's coming in from Yuma and Lelis. They're too much for Collapse. He goes down. Copy will fall. 2 for 2 so far.
The Poshka.
Is he able to get out with a blink in time? No.
Definitely
Fly. He's in with the overgrowth. Nouns. I'll make sure they continue to take the numbers advantage out of these trades. 3 for 2.
And it's a forced move from Spirit to protect Radahn, right? They have to. Laurel has to kind of give his life to jump in and stop the chain stun that's going to come off, because otherwise Lina's dead. So it's a choice that they had to make just to make sure that Yatoro actually lives. So they're going to have to sack probably the Roshan for that, but it probably felt like a forced situation because it was just a great jump from Gunnar.
It's just so much more difficult for Radahn to get the damage out in these fights compared to Yuma at this point on the Luna.
I mean, the Luna's just in his face, and he's like, he just has to run because of the way that Yuma's been able, getting them driving crazy. Yuma Luna, because he's getting on top of him, and yeah, has to spend, what, 2-3 seconds of his BKB just running from the Luna? Not the ideal. It was good reaction from Laurel at the least, though, right? It was a very quick blink lasso to stop the chain stun, but at the end of the day, they need more out of this lasso.
With this round of the Aegis, Nouns definitely going to be eyeing up the chance of going for the high ground. Spirit, we'll see how ready they are for it. They do have decent high ground defense in terms of just being able to make the jump, grabbing someone, dragging them into the base if they're able to get in with the lasso. Obviously, there are items online for Nouns that can counter that play.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the if they can get the lasso, right?
It's going to have to be a very specific window that Lyle's able to punish.
Copy now getting another pretty big item too. The Shivas has been finished up, and he has had this for a while, but the Paladin Sword too, so this continues to get stronger and stronger, and yeah, 4 minutes on this Luna.
Dire are scanning.
How hard do they want to force the issue here? See how confident they do want to be, because Gunnar, he can do some fun plays where he can blink, spear people outside, fly, will find a ward. And yeah, we never did see, I was going to talk about it earlier, but constant fights kept them. We never did see the pipe that came out from Collapse, so they just go for his own itemization because of how the game ended up going down. Banner's playing.
I mean, they let Mira go for it, right?
Yeah, he did. He had to afterwards.
Oh, there's the jump. They get the lasso. Goes on to Gunnar. They try and drag him up there. They got the full up first. Gunnar's able to put the BKB, and he turns with the arena. He's been able to lock down Mira. As Mira gets caught in the front lines of the fight, has to buy back immediately.
And Banner's still down. They have to take this out. The catapults are going in.
The push continues and Copy. He's in with the
Right,
Bo3. Trying to get the opening onto Radahn. They get the Spear follow-up, but they got any further catch afterwards. The Hex is there as well from Gunner. But Radahn is kept safe.
Doom.
They turn towards Copy. They drop it down onto the Sand King. They've taken Copy down.
Nouns will respect that. They're going to back away. A buyback required from Mira for the hold.
To push them back for now. The Nouns, even without Copy, highly likely that 70 seconds and he's back in. They'll still have a bit of time to make another push with the Aegis.
See that arena, of course, too, yeah, stolen, so definitely set up for a good fight. The high ground positioning there. That's going to be the success, I feel like, for the side of Team Spirit is fighting around those high grounds. Fighting outside, though, definitely feels complicated. 50 seconds till Copy comes up. Can Spirit look to find something with this downtime?
I think they might want to.
Yeah, Laurel, I mean, his lasso's up in 5 seconds.
But Nouns kind of coming for them as well. Fly.
Yeah, Fly, I mean, very confident with this gem, just charging in.
Another BKBs are on cooldown for Spirit. It's only been set for Gunner. 15 seconds until he has the arena back up. It has that Blink Hex chance.
I love how they're playing this aggressive, though. Even though they have that, man down, they're just really looking to play in a very aggressive position. Just to make sure that they can scout Spirit out. Keep playing around this Luna. I feel like I've seen them kind of, not fully 5-manning, but it's been quite a bit of 5-man from Nouns just sticking around this Luna. Timeless Relic for Gunner. Refresher on the Doom. Collapse. These could be game changers if they can get the successful ones onto the key targets. Again, still very difficult. Quite a mountain for them to climb. 90 seconds still left on this Aegis, too. Hushka gets a telescope. Okay, so extra range for lassos and stuff like that. Still has the arena as well. And I see Laurel has queued up the Ags, so definitely feeling like it's about that high ground defense, getting the double lassos and stuff like that.
If you can catch them and set up for Radahn to stand his position and get the hits in, Radahn's going to hit hard with the Daedalus done.
He's approaching 25 too, right? 23 on Radahn, so...
He's absolutely going to have the damage. Even though there still might be a significant difference in net worth between him and Yuma.
It's just
this Lina still hits hard.
As long as they can control the targets, that's just the key thing that's going to be... what we have to see is... Because I see Fly now is also queuing up the Lincolns. I think we're going to see potentially like 2 more Lincolns come out on Nouns, because it's a ton of single target, super important spells from Spirit.
30 seconds left on the Aegis. Now, so they want to try and push for things again, or is it just going to be sit back and wait for these next big items to come out? Looks like it may be the latter.
Did you see the neutral item that Yuma went for? Not the most standard one, but one that you can understand in this game when it's about Ogre Seal Totem. Very cool. Very defensive kind of decision. Kind of all the neutral items we see. Static cap even onto Copy as well too. The status resistance could be all important versus the Doom.
Well, Spirit. And it looks like they're going to come out with a smoke play now that the Aegis has expired for Yuma.
The Pushka wants to get some vision out here. They don't really have too much out on the map. They have to see, they have to see those crucial targets to be able to get those big jumps, of course, from Collapse. So vision is going to be incredibly important for Spirit on the jump. This Luna just continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger, though. 8k difference between him and Yatoro.
Invisibility.
Or Radahn.
Dire are scanning.
Smoked up behind their tier 2, so they do know that this is happening. Looking at the map state, they don't see anybody showing on lanes.
Yeah, this could come at a good time for them as well, because Spirit's own smoke now coming to an end.
How are buybacks looking? What do we got? Quite a bit on the Dire. Not too many on the Radiant.
Trying to see if he could find Mirror in the trees, but the TP, the movement out back to the base is already there.
But they're scouting.
Nouns, can they get in from the side? They can! Copy's in, it's a 2-man burst strike. They keep Radahn locked down, they can't. Radahn's able to put the BKB. Turn towards Yuma, but Yuma's out with the BKB and the Eclipse in return. Radahn trying to stand his ground. The lasso's there, they're locking down the Luna. They've dropped the Doom, they dropped everything onto Yuma, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. Yuma's able to get the damage out. They take down 3. Nouns, the team fight's there. Sure, Yuma goes down at the end of it all.
But that's
it's a
all
trade
in.
that's absolutely worth. They throw everything onto the Luna. It gets the kill, but they lose the team fight, Spirit.
I mean, they got the Doom onto her, but they couldn't get it onto Copy. Copy's able to just reset out of the fight too and jump back in. And Yuma just stands his ground. It just hits the targets. Sure, can't Satanic Lifesteal or anything like that, but does the damage either way. And they didn't have any buyback. So it is 60 seconds without the Lina, but it doesn't seem like Nouns wants to try to push the issue here. Last game, when they actually, when Yuma got picked off like this, he instant bought back and ran down. So I guess this one, give a little bit more respect to this potential buyback.
Sure, exactly. They're not completely sure that the buyback wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Under attack.
But we'll see the start of it. As you say, they get the information.
Big
Copy's
miss
able to
on.
get this angle. Radon, you know, lucky that he's able to get the BKB off very quick in response with that to give them the chance to actually start getting the right clicks onto this Luna, because obviously without Radon getting the BKB off and being able to attack back, they may not have even killed Yuma. So they at least get something, but still at quite the cost. Losing 3 heroes themselves, Spirit.
It's probably one of the more ideal situations for Nouns to have happen in these fights. Everybody just stuck inside of Arena. That's kind of what they want to happen. It's just everybody's going to be getting hit from glaives, hit from all this AoE constantly, and yeah, we saw that effect there. Yeah, now for a refresher, so can do a secondary set of it as well.
Has fallen.
I actually didn't get to see, but I don't know if we got to see. Was it only one of the Dooms that got thrown out, and did one get blocked? I wasn't sure.
I only saw one down on Yuma, right?
Because I saw he popped the refresher, and I think maybe one of them did get blocked, but it was too chaotic. I actually could not keep track of that second one. And that's a 25 actually going to come out for Yuma before Radon did. They will get a pick on Fly.
They're taking out the tree. I mean, Spirit, being in a position where they've got to take what they can get, they may try and look for more, right? They're taking out Fly for 70 seconds. You got to try and make something else happen with this.
Get a position for the Doom.
Fly, yeah, he's not going to have any of it. Yeah, just immediately bias back. Knows the Spirit's in a state where they are going to try for a play.
He's got the Roche timer. That's why, right? He's like, oh, I know. And we do actually get 25 also on Copy, so it's getting pretty ridiculous how big this epicenter gets. With the 20 talent plus that 25, you're going to see seeing that whole screen start thumping.
Spirit. Gonna smoke up once more, but Nouns, they're heading straight for them.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, they're gonna have eyes on this. Copy him with the jump. They're gonna hex straight into the burrow drive. They've been able to take down Maposhka. He has got buyback. We'll see if he considers it, and he will. He wants to get back in, try to rejoin the team here as Spirit. They want to try and fight back. Jump forward from Lal. He's looking to close the gap. They'll kill off Gunner, but Yuma's stepping forward. Radon's got to be careful. The kisses are coming in.
They break the Lincolns.
And they're able to get a bit of a route onto Yuma, but nothing else. The Lotus is thrown down on him, and Yuma just turning over the glaives. Radon and Lal, they're getting torn apart. Lal will get protected by the defense matrix.
Oh, and I think they just warp flared the lasso again, by the way.
Is that what broke it?
I think that's what broke it.
We'll check on the replay.
I couldn't see it because
it's on the edge of the screen.
It was on the edge, but for a second, but I think that might have happened. I don't know if they had the actual burst for it anyway, but I think it did happen.
Because if they got him with the Gleipnir, right, I saw Yuma got caught by the root, but do you think he may have also got caught by a lasso that quickly got cancelled by the Tinker?
I mean, I have to see it again, because these fights are absolute chaos. There's a lot of spells throwing around, and I actually was watching Gunner get chased out as well too, but we could perhaps see that one again in a second.
We'll get the Roche for now, Nouns. I'll have this, no problem.
A heads up buyback, of course, Fly from the earlier situation, just being ready for this fight. Yeah,
check this out again.
I might be blind. It's possible, but
so let's keep eyes on Yuma.
Because they popped, I saw something popped Lincolns, and then I saw Laurel make the call to go for this type of lasso play, but then I didn't see what's.
I mean, Laurel at the moment doesn't have lasso.
He does that right now. Yeah, watch, ready? So let's see. I don't know if I'm blind.
So Lal is heading over. Lincoln's is
lasso as the warp flare. It was the warp flare at the same time. That's so unlucky. I don't know if they have the full burst anyway.
I mean, if they do have the lockdown, maybe Radon can stand his ground and get the hits in.
I mean, either way, it's
unfortunate. And indeed, maybe unlikely because Yuma's just that farmed and that fat right now that maybe they don't take him out.
But either way, it's just, yeah, they have to be really careful with this kind of warp flare stuff. Now, just cheese a refresher shard on the tree. I like this decision that they did to give it this tree, because you can only really dispel, right? You're going to BKB, then you're going to get rooted, then you're going to Satanic, and then he's going to root you again. So I like that they've gone for this choice for him. And yeah, we're seeing the Lincolns, of course, being picked up even more. Mira's gotten one for himself, but now we're also seeing Fly picking one up for his allies. And Copy, now a Wind Waker has been picked up, so a potential mini way to save some of these allies too we could see happen. 24,000 gold lead. They announce showing that the group stage are a distant memory.
Absolutely. What a performance from them today against Team Spirit nonetheless.
Very close to 25 on Radon. And I believe the MKB was just picked up. So that means he's all in. So, I mean, Spirit, it feels like they do have to go all in with the deficit that they're at, so I don't blame them.
Push begins here. Yuma steps up with the Aegis.
I like that banner placement. Very nice. I've been seeing a lot of these banners be put up on the high ground when you have catapults. This is the best way to kind of use it. They can't really siege it that easy.
Radon steps forward. He tries to get the banner.
Lasso?
The lasso on the two of them. We've got the burst to bring Gunner down low. He's able to get the arena off, but they've killed him off. Now they turn over towards Yuma. Copies in though straight away with the epicenter, and the damage it just shreds through low, tears through collapse. The two of them gone without buyback.
Radon?
The push continues. Radon is bringing down at least Yuma the once, but can they do it again? He's going to stand his ground, gets the light strike array up, but copies him with the burrow strike. The stolen burst over towards Yuma. I mean, Yuma's getting burst pretty low here. Flies in with the overgrowth. Gunner, he's ready to go for round two. Comes in with the buyback. Has the arena to lock him down. They've caught Radon. Radon's gone.
They've done it, Owen.
I think they have. This top rack's taken out.
Laurel's going to buy back, so he's going to put the fear into them.
But there's no Radon. There's no collapse.
Imagine they're just going to look to keep going here.
There's no fortification. It's been popped, so they're ready to continue for further push.
What a heads-up buyback, Gunner. I mean, they know this is their way. This is their time to end the game. Buys back, finds Radon when he's being that turret.
And they can go for the game.
They absolutely can.
They're straight to the tier 4s. They're going to realize that these buybacks aren't going to be coming out. They get the jump. They can look for more. The spear's going to be off the mark. The fortification, of course, getting refreshed, gives them a chance to pop it once more around the tier 4s, but that's
no
all they
damage.
have to hold them off. The fortification once again comes to an end. Lal tries to get in with a lasso to slow down the push, but Yuma's in, focusing the Ancient. Miposhka throwing his body in, trying to distract them away from the objective as Nouns look to close this one up. On towards the Ancient. Nothing to be done here by Team Spirit. One final attempt, but it's all over. GG is called. Nouns, they'll take this series 2-0 today against Team Spirit, knocking Spirit down to the lower bracket. Nouns, they're going straight up to the upper bracket.
What a performance from them today. I mean, Copy played his heart out in this series in particular.